Morning, Chris.
Morning, how are you?
All right, thanks, Denise.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Having a good day?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, then.
I'm the community mentor and I gather volunteers for the Kitchen Garden project. Hi Denise, how are you?
Lovely day.
It is, it's beautiful. Now we've got some seeds to plant today. Okay, well we'll come out here. We have probably around 20 volunteers. I would say about 70% are parents and 20% would be grandparents. The other 10 would be community members that come in. So we'll start here. We're going to plant the parsnip and the red onions in here.
I've been teaching for about 25 years and most of that time here at Coombe School. Coombe is about 150 kilometres southeast of Adelaide. For the last 10 years, we've probably had about 170 students.
Has everybody got their sunscreen on?
I'm the garden coordinator, so I've got to be responsible to get volunteers up and running. Again, so the legends, you're going to be working with Leonie. Where's Leonie? Yep. And so we wanted access for parents to be able to come in and help out easily. So the final placement was, within the school precinct and close enough to the staff room for supervision. We're out in the sticks here a bit and it's pretty sunny. In the classroom, kids put on their sunscreen, put their hats on. They've got to then get kitted up into their right gear. Our garden's an organic garden, so we're trying to stay away from all the synthetic chemicals. These products are safe products, and so we only just use the bare minimum type of protective equipment for the kids.
Can you please get me some coriander? Just check that it's got enough of the little leaves.
Got to get all the little ones out and then we'll rake it and we'll plant the watermelon seeds in there.
We like to look at 1 volunteer per 4 students, and that gives enough guidance for the students and also, make sure the kids stay on task. Because we've been able to maintain the ratio of students to supervisors, whether they're volunteers or teachers or whatnot, we haven't had any issues so far, with regards to safety of the kids in the garden, so they've been really good.
Oh, you're not finished over there yet, sorry.
When someone new comes in, we've got to have an induction process, and so we sit down with them and then go through, this is what the requirements that you need to meet.
DENIS.
Volunteers working with children, there's 2 legislative things that we need to get done, and it's the police check and the mandatory reporting. Once we get those cleared up, we're pretty right with the volunteers. Sophie, can you see any caterpillars in there anywhere? For the school as well, we use our volunteer policy, which is taken from the Education Department outlines. So, we've got our own philosophy in there about what we believe is appropriate for our school and our environment. And then we work through with our volunteers to make sure that they understand where we're coming from.
Nice and tight. Okay, cut him away. That's it.
That's it. Do you reckon we could go around again? Yep. There we go, and then pop that one in the bucket.
The Education Department have a risk assessment form that you work through, and then we've narrowed that down to make sure that's focused particularly on our garden. So for us, we've got a number of things that we cover, and, obviously we're looking at child protection, accidents, sunburn. There's vermin out in the garden. We've organised traps for the mice, snakes, where we call up the groundsman and he can come and sort it out.
Okay guys, make sure you're washing the backs of your hands, fingernails, in between your fingers. Count to 10.
The garden's only been going for a year, and at the end of the year we're going to have a big review, and of that review we'll be looking at the volunteers and where their role fits in, and also to make sure that their status is still up to scratch. Often you get a situation where you say, I'm not going to do that, it's just unsafe. But if you look at the ways that you can step through those risks and then work out, outcomes that make it achievable, then that's a better way to go than just saying, we're just not going to do something because we feel it's unsafe. It's not a daunting task as long as you make sure that you can match what your school was doing with the department policy.